There have been many failed attempts to bring Louis Masterson's books to the big screen. Mine included. Which is incredible given the fact that Hollywood has made just about everything else on the list of best-selling books. I mean, these have sold well over 25 million copies, and after that, I think people just stopped counting.
But the stories and characters on those pages are the closest thing you can find to the cinematic impact of these movies from the 1960s. They still today set the tone for everything that's left to be desired. It's a gunfighter's universe, just waiting to happen. Yet nothing's moved forward in the last 50 or 60 years. It's been sitting there, waiting. And the deeper you look into the genre, you start to discover authors that even lived in the time period.
His books have sold more than 100 million copies and have been translated into more than 40 languages.
Other Western writers like Zane Grey, who was a New York dentist, may be better known. But no Western writer has sold more books than Louis L'Amour.
The combined library of all this IP is deeper and richer than anything we've seen in the superhero universe. So it begs the question, how can we be in this situation? Why do we have to go back to the 60s to see someone tap into this vast IP? The answer is complicated, but the short of it is, very few people in Hollywood are interested in doing any kind of development. And if you push a stack of books over the table, I can bet you they're never going to get read. Scripts hardly even get read.
I've sat with major studios and streamers who routinely spend millions on just a single screenplay, just for it to end up in turnaround and never see the light of day. Not something film financing companies have much appetite for, and particularly as international film financing is a broken model.
Oh yeah, and you might think maybe all this is happening because audiences are not interested in Westerns. That's not true at all. Audiences, first of all, are not the trendsetters. They don't know what they want until they see it. Secondly, if you look at every Western that had a major release in theaters that was presented in a commercial package true to the genre in the last 30 years, they all made over 20 million at the US box office. Which doesn't align at all with the fact that every filmmaker has a burning desire to make a Western at least at some point in their career. They all dream about it. I don't care if you're entry level or top A-list. Everyone dreams about making a Western. Proper Western.
This leaves the independent filmmaker very few options. And if you do see an original film nowadays, it's basically done with a combination of so many cooks in the kitchen to the point that there's not much creativity left. And you usually end up with 20 producers and 5 production companies by the time you have a film made. It's frustrating because that original idea that you started with gets more and more diluted to the point that very little is left. And usually the only people that win are the people that inflated the budget from 25 million to 75 million and got paid up front. This is not the way to make movies. We have to find a new way. How's this going to be different? Well, we're starting on the ground floor.
When we sum it all up, we have audience and public interest. We have an immense IP library. We got standing sets and locations all over the place. And we have passion from the creatives.
I like it.
So since this has all been overlooked by the entertainment industry at large, we're better off doing it ourselves as a community. And that's where El Paso Verse begins.